Good morning, or afternoon, everybody. We're going to start just about 1 o'clock, so have a few people signed up, but I don't mind giving this for less people. We'll just get the basics done. This is a new webinar software for us, so if you can't hear me or if you're having any troubles, can't see my screen, anything like that, just give me a holler and we'll see what we can do to fix it. Before we get started, I just want to make sure everyone can hear me and see my screen. So if you can, just type something in chat, anything. It can be complete gibberish, just to make sure that I am, positive that this system is currently working. So we're going to give it about 2 more minutes here, and then we'll get started. As always, with any of my webinars, if any of you have attended before, feel free to poke me with any questions in the middle. I have no problem stopping and answering a question, talking about stuff. I'm not the type to read off a script, so I have no problem stopping and answering any questions you may have. We are scheduled, this webinar says 90 minutes, it's basically an hour. I give it that extra buffer just in case something happens. The presentation itself should take about between 45 and 50 minutes, and then we'll have time for a few questions at the end, poke around, that sort of thing. If you've used Lynda before, a lot of this might be a review, but a lot of the information that is contained in this webinar is stuff that Lynda has very recently brought online with a very bought online and actually online correctly, mainly their offline viewing capability, which I love because I don't have internet in my house. So we're going to give it a few more minutes, then we'll get started. If anyone has any questions or wants to poke or anything beforehand, just feel free, and we'll be starting at 5 after. All right, so we're going to get started here. This is the webinar for lynda.com and how to get the best out of it. Lynda.com is something that Northern New York Library Network has been promoting for a while now. We have 8 slots where you can request a 2-week or 1-month license, and that license is unlimited. It allows you to go to the website and view as many courses as you would like. And this becomes even more useful when you utilize the offline capabilities that lynda.com provides you. And that's mainly because, you know, some of these courses can be pretty long. You have the 10-minute courses, which are really nice if you're just trying to brush up. Every Monday they put out a new 10-minute course. They generally put out between 50 and 60 courses a month. So this is by no means a small library. The lynda.com library has, last time I looked, was in excess of 80,000 courses, which is a lot in very varying subject matter. A lot of the subject matter is technology, but you're going to have stuff like public speaking. You're going to have items when it comes to management, when it comes to creating strategic plans, but it does have a lot of technology focus, which is what lynda.com is best known for. If you want to know how to use a phone, if you want to know how to code a website, if you want to know how to use the most recent Microsoft Office, lynda.com is going to have it. And I'm currently right now on the new courses menu, and that's because this is mainly when I use the website where I stop, and you'll see it says Hi John on the top because I use the institutional account, which has my boss's name on it. But what I use is basically I take a stop at the new courses, and you can get to the new courses by either following the link on top where it says new courses, or if you go to our webpage on the lynda.com page on Nylon's website, it has a link to those courses as well. And basically how it works is you can look at either all, or it gives you a nice little section of categories. So for example, if I wanted to look at photography, I'd click on it and it would pull up various photography courses. Now, when you sign up for a course and you want to take it, the first thing you want to do is take a look at it. So if you click on a course, we're going to click this Capture One Pro. There are very certain places you want to look first before you start a class, and that's over here in the overview. It will tell you a few very important things. The first off is the skill level. How lynda.com takes it is they will give you a 3 skill level tier, either beginner, intermediate, or expert, on how familiar you should be with the software or the subject that is talked about before you begin. Beginner is pretty much, I have no knowledge whatsoever, which is what the vast majority of these courses are. But some of the courses lead into other courses, especially when you get into programming or management. And it will give you a skill level intermediate or expert. Also, if there is an intermediate or expert skill level, it will generally, not always, but generally give you what are called prerequisite courses, just like college. These courses aren't mandatory, but generally give you the actual knowledge base required to succeed in a course. So if you see something that says skill level intermediate based on this course, you could go back and take that earlier course to fully understand the subject matter before you started on the course you originally looked at. And also provide you a total duration. Total duration is how long the entire course is from beginning to end. In this case, it's 5 hours and 48 minutes. These durations run the gambit. As I said, there are 10-minute classes. The longest class I've personally taken using lynda.com is a little over 10 hours, and that was a programming class for Linux, and I loved it. And you know, I think I did it over 4 weekends. It was very useful. And on the left, you can see how the course is broken down. Each course is going to be broken down into multiple short films. This not only reduces loading time, but also allows for a very easy organization of the class itself. And as you can see, you can kind of scroll through here. You can click on any of these to go either make a bookmark of it or go directly to that course section. The other thing I should mention is that you can collapse each section as you finish it, so that you can quickly and easily go to different sections. And also you can search. So if I type in a keyword, obviously I won't find anything, but let's see here. You can search the course, find various items. So let's just type in logo. Anyway, so you can search the course number or the course to find a certain section. Also, another thing of note is When you'll notice when I clicked play, it popped up this transcript section. This transcript section, while you're taking the course, allows you to see exactly where you are. And if you click on a section, it will actually pull forward the video to where that is in the transcript. So if you miss something, you can easily slide back, click on the transcript, and that will pop you back to where you were. And that's a very easy way to kind of get yourself oriented. These transcripts can also be downloaded, and you can set them aside as a file, so you can have almost like the notes of a PowerPoint, the entire thing from beginning to end. One last thing of note I want to say in the overview here is it gives you the author. A lot of lynda.com's instructors do more than one course, and some of them become subject matter experts for certain sections. If you click on an author, it'll bring you to his or hers, his in this case, main page, and that will allow you to see every single course they've ever done. This guy's obviously a photographer, so he has done a vast amount of photography. So if you take a class and you like the instructor and you find it very useful, you can click on the instructor's name, go to this page, and do various things. And as you can see, some of his items are beginners, some are intermediates, and you get to see various sections on this. Go back to my front page here. Another thing I'd like to note is these little plus. You'll see these little plus symbols at the bottom. Lynda.com has something very interesting called playlists. Like books and on YouTube, you can create your own playlist so that you can figure out exactly what courses you want to take over time. But the other very important thing is that lynda.com creates playlists for you. And this is very useful if you want to go into a certain subject and really dig into it. And that's up here in the featured section. So when you get your email and you log in, you're going to get a lot of, the page is going to look totally different from when you're just looking at it if you're not a member. If you go to playlists, it brings up this entire section, and there are hundreds of playlists. And these playlists provide a series of courses focused on a subject. For example, Introduction to Programming. So say I want to learn how to program. This playlist, as you can see, it gives you a nice little breakdown. It has 7 courses, 205 total videos, and it's a 14-hour and 34-minute playlist. So every single course in this combined will be a little over 14 hours. And it gives you a skill level. This skill level is where the skill level of is at the start. So for example, I've actually done this Introduction to Programming. You start with a skill level that assumes you know absolutely nothing, and it ramps up as you move along the programming path. So as you can example, this course about fundamentals, foundations of programming, is very simple. It says, hey, this is programming. Here's what it is. Here's what you need to do. And then you kind of step up into design. Then you step up into real world applications, talk about women in STEM fields. And then you're actually going to start programming with GitHub and the actual Git program itself, software quality assurance, so moving into the process. And I believe this ends at an intermediate level. So what this does is this allows you to set yourself a course or a plan that allows you to begin at a certain skill level, end at a certain skill level. And this is true for any playlist. So each of the playlists, and you can look at them, are divided into sections. These sections are divided into the actual subjects that we saw in the beginning. So there's a playlist for 3D, audio, business, CAD, etc., moving all the way to the end. And that allows you to find the subject you're looking for and find the playlist that meets the needs of what you're looking for. And another thing you can do is also create your own playlist. As I saw here, I don't have any playlists, my personal playlists, but what I can do is as I keep using them, or as I look at some classes, I can add them to the playlist. And like any playlist, I can arrange the order. It will tell me what I've watched, the total duration of that playlist, and other items like ones I've completed, I can get certificates for and that sort of thing. But the very important thing about this is, say you supervise, you have people under you who you supervise, and you want them to take some lynda.com courses. You can take your playlist, you can create a playlist, for example, for customer service fundamentals. You make your own course that has, say, 5 or 6 courses in it and goes over the items that you want your subordinates to learn about customer service. You create this list, and then you can share this playlist with other members of Lynda. So say you email me, I'd like to set up a 1-month account for myself and these 2 people who work for me. I set everything up for you. You make your playlist, you send it to them, and then they can do the whole playlist and then provide you with the certificates of completion when they're done to show you that they've done the work that you've assigned. So it allows, lynda.com gives you these tools that allow you to provide continuing education for your workplace, for your staff, without having to travel. It's asynchronous, so you don't, like this webinar, you don't need to be here at this time. They can do it whenever they want. And with the various tools lynda.com provides, it can be offline as well. So they can download it on their phone or on their laptop or even on their Roku if they have one, or a smart television. Lynda.com gives you a lot of these various options so that you can best equip your staff and yourself for success in our increasing, to sound almost corny, our increasing technological environment. Are there any questions so far about the basics of looking at a course, understanding how courses work, playlists, and that sort of thing before I move on? The next thing I want to talk about is when you use the software, when you use lynda.com, and this is true even if you use it for a month and your month license runs out and you come back to it a year later, it's going to keep all the information on every course that you've done. And as I said before, when people use the playlist and they want to show you that you've done, you can get certificates. It does the same for you. So everything that you take, you can see, since everyone at the network uses this one login, you can kind of see the crazy mess that we've ended up here. But every class that we've done, you can see this class I just clicked on is here now because I did start it. It allows you to see what you've done, how much of it you've done, so your total progress, and then how much time you have remaining, or if you've even completed it. This allows you to see what's left of a section and kind of estimate how much time you're going to need to complete that task. For example, these that are complete, you can see I've seen all these videos, gives me the date of all the videos that I've seen, and then if I click on this, I can view my completion certificate for this. And that allows me to say, hey, I've completed this certificate, I'm going to share this, and I'm going to tell people that I've done. And that, that's one thing you can do. In addition, if you're sick of looking at that, like this course, I'm never going to take again because I just clicked on an example. I can delete that course and it's gone from my history. If I do watch it as it says, if I do watch it again, it will pop right back up. The other thing it will do is it will take your course history. It will see what courses you've taken and what courses you've completed. And like Amazon or Google or everything else, it takes all that information, chugs into an algorithm, and says, hey, I think you'd like these courses. So, it gives me communication fundamentals, time management. As you can see, we've taken a lot of management courses on this account. Project management, getting things done. Hovering over these gives you the basics, as I mentioned before. Its duration, what level it is, who teaches it, that sort of thing. And you also get some options. You can say you're not interested in it, which removes it from it and gives you another option. Or you can update your interests, and this is something in your profile. So say I want to see stuff about IT. I'm going to update my interest to IT, and I like WordPress. I'm going to save these changes. So when it gives me a recommendation again, it's going to pop up an IT and a WordPress section, specifically gearing its suggestions to my specific interests, which can be very useful, especially if you're using lynda.com over and over again for certain subjects. Another thing it gives you is bookmarks. So I don't have any bookmarks associated with this, but say you're going through a course and you like a certain part of that course. So for example, I'm going through my Drupal 7 training here. I'm going to go to the web page, and I've watched a section, say the basic workflow, that I really like. I will most likely refer to this again. I can click on this little blue flag that bookmarks it. And then when I go to my bookmark section, it will have that right here for me. So now I can view that at any time. So I just go to my bookmark section, I click on that, it'll launch the video directly, and I don't kind of have to mess around going to the course and trying to find that part I wanted to see again. I found this very useful when I was taking the programming courses, since programming tends to build upon itself. And I was like, I'm going to forget the basic commands every so often. So I bookmarked the basic command section for myself so I could go back to it over and over again when I forgot how to list everything in a directory or something silly like that. And the last thing on this is certificates of completion. Everything that you complete through, it's a LinkedIn company, so it's going to give you the LinkedIn thing. But everything that you complete in lynda.com will give you a certificate of completion. These certificates of completion can be used for very many things. For example, CE for the New York Public Librarian certificate. If it's librarian or professional related, you can submit see if that works for that. Or you could submit it to your supervisor to say, hey, I have done these things for this year. I've completed this amount of CE for your annual review or something of that end. And it gives you these basic setups. And if you click on one and it's kind of not showing it, I'm going to play with my screen share just to show you what the certificate looks like. Just a moment here. There we go. That's what certificate looks like. So pops up, it's nice nifty yellow. It says, hey, this person, in our case, my boss, John Hammond, has earned a certificate of completion. It lists the course name, it lists the course duration, and the date that you completed the course. You can print this out, you can save it as a PDF. You see various options up top here. And that will allow you to take these certificates, save them on your computer, provide them to your supervisor or anyone else that you think really needs to know about it. Go back to sharing my previous section here. There we go. All right. That covers the playlists and the various back-end functions for recommended and for bookmarks and for course history. Are there any questions anyone has so far on how this works or anything like that? All right, so the last thing we're going to talk about in this section is, I've mentioned multiple times the offline capabilities. Lynda.com is great if you have access to internet all the time. And a lot of us do at work. I know I do. I assume all of you do as well, because you're sitting on a webinar right now that requires internet. However, we live in the North Country, and not everyone has internet at home, including myself. I've lived up here for almost 2 years, and my house still doesn't have internet, although I have been working on it. So when I use lynda.com, I need to have a way to take the information that these courses have and place them on a device that allows me to view them without internet access. And as you can see, lynda.com has a few ways that you can do that. And there are various different apps and various different setups. And as you can see right here, there's 5 basic sections. Your first 3 are your typical setups, your Apple phone and iPads, your Android phones and tablets, and your Windows phones and tablets. And these are just standard App Store downloads through App Store, Google Play, and Amazon, and the Windows Store. And that allows you to take these, take this information, fire it up, download literally whatever you'd like, put it on your phone, your tablet, whatever, and watch it and learn, anywhere. And the last one is the desktop app. I am a Linux user, and of course I don't have a Linux app, but they do have an app for Windows and for Mac. And these, I think if you're going to be using this software on a regular basis, I would highly recommend utilizing the app instead of the web interface. And the reason I say that is this. As you can see by my sharing section up here, or my web section, I've disabled my ad blocker for this website. And that is because when lynda.com was bought out by LinkedIn, and this happened about 8 or 9 months ago, they started using LinkedIn's tracking cookies and various other big data gathering hoovers to learn as much about you as humanly possible, like every other company does. If you have an ad blocker, it will stop you from logging into the website. I learned this the hard way, trying to figure out for hours why this wasn't working. So I finally just disabled my ad blocker and moved on. This, I think, is kind of a poor workaround. The website is great, it works, it has functionality, but the desktop app is significantly faster. And I would show it to you, except I'm on a Linux box, so I can't show it to you right now. But I do highly recommend that if you're going to utilize the software, you want to get the desktop application. And that is mainly because the desktop application allows you to download everything you want for an unlimited amount, so you can download every single course in lynda.com as long as you have the space on your hard drive. They don't care. It allows you to view that, do bookmarks, do everything else, and every time you log into the internet, it will sync up with your online account. So all the stuff that I've been showing you, including bookmarks and playlists and all sorts of stuff, will be updated in the web app as you use the desktop app. But the most important thing I've found with it is the ability to view stuff offline. This not only increases the quality because, if you go to a public Wi-Fi and you fire it up and you try to download something, it's going to be super slow. If you have it already downloaded to your hard drive, it's not going to be slow anymore. It's going to be the highest quality. It's going to be, operate fast. It's going to operate clear. The sound quality is going to be the best it can get. And it allows you to utilize or see the course in the way it was meant to be prepared and was meant to be presented. And it gives, in my opinion, the best bang for your buck, as it were, when it comes to taking an online course through Lynda. The phone apps are also very good. I'm not partial to the smaller screen. I wear glasses and I have trouble kind of reading that sort of thing, but some people really do appreciate it. It works great on tablets. The iPad here at work has the iPad app, and that allows people, us when we're on the road or something else to show the app and say, hey, this is how it works. These are the features. And that is something I would highly recommend using as well if you have a tablet. It really expands the flexibility and the I guess the ability for you to see and view courses without being limited by the internet connection where you are. And all of these I will mention are free apps. It does require you to have a login, but if you have a login through us and you get your 2-week or month-long license, you can log into these apps. And as long as your license is functional, then your app will work. So, say for after a month, if your license expires, you will need to renew, or send me an email and say, hey, I like an extension, and we could extend it so you can continue to utilize the software as needed. Any questions about the application or the offline abilities of the app or anything else before I move on? This is actually taking a lot less time than I had anticipated because I'm not getting very many questions, but that's okay. I don't think you guys would mind if it took less time rather than more. The last section we're going to cover today is basically how to browse there are so many courses on lynda.com that we should look at quickly how to view certain sections and how to really kind of dig in to seeing what course you'd like to take, because there are so many. One thing I should mention is that if you've used any sort of library database software, this results page will look very familiar because it deals with the same faceting technology and faceting methodology that librarians use for databases. As you can see, I've selected, using the library function at the top, educational technology, which is a fairly hefty section. As you can see, there's 53 total courses with 2,173 videos. So this is a medium-sized section. There are sections that are much larger, and there are sections that are smaller. But this one is a nice medium section so we can look at the various functions. As you can see on the left, there are various ways that we can take this data and we can kind of facet it, use the faceting function to give us a smaller results so we can find exactly what we're looking for. For example, let's just say I only want to deal with Apple software. As you can see, there's 5 courses. I click on that and it chunks out the 5 courses that meet this requirement. And as you can see, you have the title of the class itself. You have a quick description, and you can always hover over to find a larger description. It has the little thing to add to a playlist, your total length of time, the skill level needed, and this little closed captioning button. The closed captioning button is what the transcript is. It's very rare to find a course in lynda.com that is not closed captioned these days. In the beginning, I was kind of hit and miss, but in the past 2 years, it has really been very good, a very high amount of classes that have closed captioning involved, and that's good because sometimes it helps to be able to read it. And it'll also tell you how many people have viewed the course. Some courses, as you can see, are more popular than, shall we say, others, but all of them are useful. As always, you can deselect the filter to pop you back to the main results selection. So I want to see all the advanced courses. I click on that. It's going to give me all the advanced courses. And as you can see, you have all the main sections over here, and each section really divides itself into other facets that are much more focused. So for example, if I go down to IT, as you can see, they have it split into 2 sections. They have topics and they have software. And these aren't even all of them. You can click See All to pop up all of them. But it shows the most common ones on the front. As I'm a big Linux junkie, I'm going to go to IT, I'm going to click Linux, and it's just going to give me the Linux courses on lynda.com, of which there aren't that many. There's only 8. This is actually a very fun course. If you have a Raspberry Pi, I highly recommend you take it. That was a lot of fun. But if you're looking at a section that's much larger, so I'm going to go to, let's see, IT, and I'm going to go to Windows. There's 48 Windows courses. And it goes everywhere from setting up a PC to deploying Windows 10 with a development toolkit. You know, the Lynda.com is the Lynda.com section is very robust with what it has, and that is pretty much covering all you need to know when you're utilizing Lynda.com. One thing I'd like to mention before we end is if you do want to sign up for your trial, you can go to Lynda.com. We have 2 links on our website. One brings you to the latest releases, as I mentioned earlier, but this one up top in our quick space leads you to how to sign up for online training. Online training through Lynda.com is available to any library staff member in the North Country. You don't have to be our member to do it, but they do need to work in the library. For example, if you work at a college, your IT support staff who don't work in the library couldn't use it, but your library people can. And all you got to do is just click the register here, brings up this nice little registration page. You type it out, it sends me a nice little email, and I can fill that out for you. Or you can always email me directly, and that works as well, and I will get you set up. Are there any questions before we end here for the day? I really appreciate you coming and attending our quick little webinar here. Was a little much less than an hour, but it's nice to get these basics covered and out there so that they can be viewed. I will be sending out, or actually you'll receive automatically due to our new software, a link to the YouTube video that will contain this course so that you may view it anytime you'd like. Thanks again for coming, and hope you all have a wonderful day.